Well, today I'll be wrenching on the W210. Seems to have developed a problem with the transmission. When I drive about less than a kilometer, the check engine light comes on. But there are codes on the transmission. I'll try to pull them today because it requires the 34 pin. Can't reach the transmission through the regular OBD port located somewhere around here. So today I'll be taking it to a place where I'll have access to more manpower. There's people to help me lift and things like that. So the car is stuck in an electrical limp mode, as you can see. If I go into gear 2, you'll feel the gap. There is a jack. So it's no more doing it's no more regulating the pressures in the transmission. So it's in limp mode, meaning you only have access to reverse, and in the drive mode you only have access to gear 2. So I have an idea of things that could cause that. It's typically the conductor plate. So I try to pull the codes to see if there are codes related to the speed sensors, the N2, N3 speed sensors, and the conductor plates. Also, I'll drop the pan of the transmission to see if there are any debris inside it, because some earlier versions of the 72.6 had problems with a bearing, which over time wears off and sends metal all over the transmission. But I don't think that's the problem, because I could hear some weird noises around when I was in a park and neutral before. But now that it's in electrical limp mode, that means it's not sending signals to the solenoids at all. The sound is gone. So I think it's either related, is that the valve body, the conductor plate, or maybe it's us. So maybe the valve body, I don't know. But I'll definitely be doing an autopsy of it if I eventually have to change the transmission, that is, if the problem isn't solved by the conductor plate change. So this is just an introduction to what might or will happen later on. So welcome back. I packed it in the middle of the frame wheel on both sides. There's a jack on this side and there's a jack on the other side too. Put a little bit of tension on the jacks, but the main weight of the car is on the improvised jack stands. So at least 2 layers of protection that way. Better to be safe than sorry.
This is water. Water is still on my hand.
Oh, you have a problem. I'm not doing it. I'm press pause. Do not. Hit petrol.
That's petrol.
It's not petrol, guys. That is not petrol.
You want to lose it.
you're using?
Everything.
Yeah, almost everything. I'm removing the
Screws.
T30 bolts. That's one.
And then
I think it's about 12 or something. This is 2. That's still hard. Let me use the ratchet. It's starting to drip more. There's still some oil inside it.
so we are going to remove everything. And we do that too. I want to start with the oil.
Let me record.
Yes.
I'm going to meet somebody to help me with this thing.
And I'm still recording.
I can't even help me, don't worry.
Should I call you again?
I don't think any can help.
So,
I need something that has good. Let's move around a little bit. Move around a little bit. Are you recording?
yes.
Recording? Are you recording? Yeah, you can move back. Keep recording.
Yeah. We just teach chupa.
No, follow me.
The sound is.
Whose singlet is this?
I found it inside the car.
Sorry.
Yes.
Get up. Go and wear something. Don't talk to me about that. Go and wear something, or else I won't let you come here again.
Why?
You're asking me why. I said you should go and wear clothes. You're asking me.
Shine off.
Stand up. Up. These are the speed sensors. Can you see this one is cracked, and they're responsible for measuring the speed of the transmission internals. This probably N2. And this even is cracked. It's cracked here.
So it is
It's
two sides.
cracked.
This one not cracked.
It's cracked.
Not.
So we are just going to replace the conductor plates.
This.
Looks like it has never been replaced. It's original. It's an original Mercedes-Benz part. It's never been replaced before. Let's get to it. So this will be the stand where the operation will take place. So the next thing to do now is just to remove the conductor plate from this transmission, check its condition to see if the speed sensors are in good condition. I think that was a tautology. My bad. So this is the pattern pin connector. The pattern pin connector, we remove it. Although this cut already, but it's got to be in a column. You just remove it. You push this locking tab, push it down towards the pan. As you push it, you see the connector moving out slowly. This transmission was eventually bought for initially bought for a project that I'm working on, or that we are working on, myself and Yemi. This car, we are trying to change from manual transmission to automatic transmission using the stock EGS and Baldur's controller. Using Baldur's controller to send over the information over CAN bus to the EGS so as to control the transmission. So, but for now, I just want to harvest the conductor plate just to get the W210 transmission. So inside the connector, there is a 7.5 millimeter. I think it's a 7 millimeter bolt that you have to undo. So once you undo it, you pry it out, the flat edge will go over. This just comes out. That way we can just lift out the assembly, the valve body conductor plate assembly. So that's what I'll do right now. I will just fast forward.
Can I stop?
Fast pause. What happened?
I pause. It's okay.
So I'll be removing the valve body right now. Everything has been unbolted. The selector lever to just lift right up. All the bolts are removed. You can see we'll be moving back a little bit so that I'll be showing my face. Yeah, just keep going. Don't worry. Let it show you.
I can see.
As you can see, the speed sensor, the N2 and N3, they do not have any cracks on them. No cracks. Ayomide, bring the liquid gold. What I'll be doing now is swapping over the conductor plate from the Tokumbo gear to the one that was in the car before. So I'll just do that. The thing you need to do that is you have to unbolt this T30 Allen keys, this one, and you have to make sure you don't mix up the solenoids. Now here's the one that will be going into the car. So you can see the cracks on the older one. This one has no cracks. Doesn't have any. This has cracks. This one is even completely gone. That's the N2 sensor. So Hall effect sensor. And you can see the N3. You can already see this slight bulge, and then that started cracking. If Mr. Phone will just focus for a while. All the solenoids will be going back in the way they came out. I won't be swapping the solenoids. I'll just be cleaning the valve body a little bit, just a little bit. So, old, new. So a bit of a summary here. The 722.6 transmission, the 5-speed transmission from Benz, the electronic one, is a very robust transmission. Hardly anything ever goes wrong with it. Its main Achilles heel, the main problem it has, is usually the conductor plate. And then some earlier versions had problems with the input shaft bearing. But that was a design change was made. to rectify that later on. So the problem that occurred with this particular one is, at least as you can see, it was the conductor plate. Now, how do you know to really guess at the problem that, okay, I think this might be the conductor plate? It usually starts with rough shifts. You understand? Sometimes the shifts will be fine, sometimes it will not be fine, and it could be temperature dependent, because the cracks on those sensors, they get more pronounced. They get more pronounced with increase in temperature most times. So sometimes when you start the car, it shifts well, drives well, but after a while, when the transmission oil starts to warm up a little bit, then it starts to shift roughly. Sometimes, from 2 to 3, you would feel a jerk. Then when you are downshifting from 3 to 2, sometimes you feel a jerk too. And it will keep getting worse and worse until one day it will go into limp mode. That means you'll be left with only gear 2. The car wouldn't shift from gear 2 anymore. It won't shift down to gear 1, and it won't shift to 3, 4, 5. So if you have that kind of symptom, you can hazard a guess that at least maybe 90% of the time it will be the conductor plate that is faulty. So, but the solution to that is just get a better one, at least a functioning one, ones without cracks, and just replace it. On the internet, you can buy new parts for this. I think there is some designed by Febi. I think Febi was bought up by Bilstein over the years, but from Febi. Febi makes conductor plates of good quality. You can buy them, or you can just go to the junkyard if you have access to one. Just pluck it out of a donor transmission. Or since we are in Nigeria here, you could just go to the parts people, the people that sell parts, and ask for it. I think they sell it too here. So that is that about that. And then some might ask, like, what caused the cracking of the sensors? It's thermal cycling that causes it. When the car is on, the transmission oil gets warm, then it expands, and when you shut off the engine, after a while, the transmission oil also cools down. Also, the conductor plate will contract. So that cycling from expansion, contraction, expansion, contraction. After a while, because it's made out of plastic, after a while it just loses that will I call it elasticity. It loses that elasticity, and then it cracks. So that's what that's what causes it. So you could have said maybe it would have been a better design to design that area of the conductor plate out of another material, maybe aluminum or something like that. But it is what it is. The transmission made after this one, that's the 7-speed transmission, the 722.9, also has quite similar mechanicals. So mechanically, it's also very robust, but it also has a similar kind of problem, made worse by the fact that the EGS, that means the transmission controller, is now also located inside the transmission. So that means if your conductor plate is bad, that means your transmission controller too is bad, and it can be quite expensive to fix that up. So just take note of that. So thanks for watching. Some other people that have followed the channel before might feel a kind of change, meaning I'm covering a repair of, meaning I'm covering a repair job. But not to worry, there's still a project ongoing. I'm just taking my time before I review the present stage of the project. So the project is still ongoing, you know, and there is a surprise on the way. So hold on. So thanks for watching, and bye bye.